every year you and I talk, whether it's in Charlottesville, whether it's at the Peach Jam, whether it's about now, and every year you're like, we're not that good. You have us overrated. You have us overrated. Last year, I didn't have you in the top 25, and Virginia fans crushed me. How good is this team going to be, Tony? Is this the same deal where you're trying to temper any expectations? I think you're probably ranked lower this year than you have been any year the last 4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at the facts. I mean, expectations, all that stuff's going to be there. It's not. It's what you do. That's kind of irrelevant. But this is probably our most inexperienced team in terms of Kihei Clark's our only player that's played multiple years with a lot of experience. We played a freshman last year, Reese Beekman, who those two fit so well with Jay Huff, Sam Hauser, and Trey Murphy. And I'm excited for all those guys. But Trey Murphy, Trey was going to redshirt. He didn't even know. We got to say, look, you got a free year, so you can play, and then you'll have next year. But obviously we weren't expecting him to go, and he absolutely made the right decision. Had a great summer league and was picked 16th, I think, 17th. But besides Kihei, we got Reese. No one else. So we have 2 transfers that are going to help us. Armand Franklin and Jaden Gardner. One played at Indiana, one played at East Carolina that have experience. And then everyone else is pretty, even if they've been in our program, they really haven't played much. That's through injuries or stuff. So it's just kind of a new group that, you start forging your identity and seeing. I really don't know. It'll be a different team. We lost our perimeter shooting, 3 really good perimeter shooters. But, we got 2 guards that have experience, and I like that. And then the transfers have experience. But they're new to us. So I really don't know. And I'm pretty much that way all the time. I'm never certain, but we got work to do. I'm real about that, but we won't back down from anything, and we'll see where it goes. And it doesn't really matter if I think we're going to be really good or not. It's going to be how you develop and improve.
Coach, you mentioned those 3 guys you lose. They're your top 3 scorers. What offensively do you think you guys will look like this year?
Yeah, I think, at times we're going to have to use some ball screens because I think Kihei and Reese are good off the ball screen, and they're quick and can make some plays. What I've seen, some guy, we'll have a balance. I think hopefully we'll be a bit more this year. I mean, you have to look at this a little more physical this year. You're going to see some more physicality. Last year we were okay defensively, but that wasn't one of our best defensive teams. So we're going to have to really dig in and be good defensively, offensively use some physicality. I think we scored a little more last year. I'm sure the people who don't like our style may hate it worse this year. So tell them to not tune in then if that's the problem for them. But we have to figure out ways to be physical, to get good shots, and maybe the margin of error right now might be a little smaller than it's been. And that's okay. You just take these guys, but I think it's what we'll become at the end of the year, and building that'll be with this team. But I hope it's a more physical team that guards hard. And I do hope we can run the floor. We got some bigs that'll really run the floor. And that's a little bit concerning, but also kind of the exciting challenge thing. We're going to have to be a little different this year and figure out ways to manufacture some things offensively and defensively. So it's not going to be like last year. We really tried to spread the floor and let our 5s, Jay Huff and Sam Hauser and Trey. I mean, they were those 2 were almost 40% shooters. Jay was in the mid-30s. We're a little more rugged this year, traditional with our forwards and centers.
And they were men, Tony. I mean, they were older, Hauser and Jay Huff. Now, like you said, you've got guards at least that are experienced. Kihei and Franklin comes over, and Reese has a year of starting under his belt. But like the bigs, other than Gardner, I assume you don't have much of a feel yet, do you?
Right. Not at all. I think, but that's okay. I think the competition will reveal that. So it's really there's been some workouts in the fall, like we got a ways to go, and there's been flashes where they've looked good. And I don't know what the league will be like this year. I mean, the league's always solid. Last year it was down a little bit. I say that doesn't mean it was a bad league. It was down.
Wow, I've never heard a coach say that about their league ever. Everybody always says their league's the greatest. Maybe during the year, you say
that's right. No, it was. I mean, our guys. That doesn't take away from our guys winning the regular season ACC championship. That was amazing for them. And then, but it just when you had 3-1 seeds in years past, I mean, I've been in leagues where they've been dominant. I mean, if you can't look at a league and say it's not as good as it's been, and maybe that's college basketball, maybe that is, I don't know, but it just was compared to other years, it was a bit down. So, probably you don't say that during the year. It's after the fact. It's not going to hurt anybody's NCAA chances, right?
Nope. That's right.
Stuff doesn't matter anyways. Let's be real. So,
Coach, you mentioned those transfers. I feel like people have seen Armand Franklin, Jaden Gardner, maybe not so much. I've done a couple of his games when he was at East Carolina. I've seen him go for 30 at Wichita State. How impressed have you been, I guess, just with his ability to score it? He's not huge.
No. Well, he's strong. He's thick. He's 6'6". I don't know what he's listed at. He's undersized, but I like guys like that. He just kind of finds the basket. He's on the glass. He has touch. That's going to be important for us because we lost so much scoring. You know, we don't return hardly any scoring. Kihei is our leading scorer. And I think, to get baskets in different ways. Everybody said, well, he might get swallowed up against the length of the ACC. I just got a feeling, watching Jaden playing, he's figured out ways his whole career, and he was so excited about this opportunity to come and play in a league like the ACC and just see, and he's needed. I think when you bring in transfers, it's good that you want them, especially if they have experience, like to be able to step in and have a significant role. And, they're both going to have that just the way our roster is. So there'll be ample opportunity. There's adjustments. He's been well prepared at East Carolina. They didn't have a lot of success. They were close, but so he's hungry to try to be a part of a team and just keep building it. And but they did a good job developing it, and he had to do a lot for them. And I think, he'll have some responsibility here. We're going to need that versatility in his scoring, playing different ways. And the same thing with Armand. Again, Archie and that staff did a great job, and he ran some stuff. Indiana played somewhat of our defensive system. Some concepts were similar, and even offensively, he can move and shoot a little bit, and that's where we need some of that outside shooting that we lost. That is probably going to be important for us. So they both have great opportunities to come in and help us this year.
So what's the biggest key, Tony, to still finishing at or near the top of the ACC this year?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to be a rugged, tough defensive team. It's funny. I got a text, and we're starting our practice today. And my dad, he just texted me. I talked to him for a couple of days, and he texted me something. He said, I can remember for the 40 years I was in coaching, I always loved the first day, because he said I always felt like where I would sit in front of the team and try in words to clearly explain to them what I saw them becoming, what their identity could be, and paint that picture of this is what I see you as. And I think that's important, that a team has a clear identity of maybe you aren't that right away. No team is that. Maybe some of the teams experienced are, but really saying this is what I see in you, and this is what we work towards daily, and keep going through the ups and downs. And I think our team has to become a rugged physical team that is really good defensively. And when I say really good, to the best of our abilities with new guys, last year we were okay, but not where we've been in the past. I liken it a little more to after the national championship year when we had, Mamadi and Braxton Key, and we found a way. I think we finished second that year. It was the COVID year, but boy, we got better as the year went on, and we really guarded hard. We won games with our defense. And then, just becoming a team that doesn't back down. That I told our team, I said, we're not a blue blood. I said, don't ever mistake us we're a blue collar program. And there's a big difference, in my opinion. That doesn't mean have anything to do with who's better, who's not, championships, not. No, don't make that mistake. I want guys that have a blue collar approach. And I'm not saying the blue bloods don't have that approach, but I want that. And that's why I point to my Rocky poster all the time. I want guys that want to come in, and they're so excited and hungry about the chance to go toe to toe and fight against the best in a league like the ACC and contend for championships. And they aren't entitled to anything. They don't assume. And it's a conflicting message, because now at Virginia, we have, people, all these athletes, they get worshiped. Oh, you're the greatest, you're this and that. No, you're a team that has lost a lot of its players. You come in, enjoy this process, and be blue collar in your approach. And that's, I guess, the identity I want to paint, and then get into the specifics of what that's going to look like, for this team on the court. And that's why that was a great reminder for my dad about, that's the job. And that first day, he always got excited about that. And then you stay faithful to it.